Hi,
That'll do it. What we got going on? Are we on? Are we not on? You're going to have to let us know.
Tell us about the sound.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to go straight to those comments because we want to know if this is working or not. It seems like there's some bugs already in there this evening. Janet and David say, hello, everyone. Wow, another week has flown by.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Flown by.
Yes, it has. In the sunshine.
Yeah, Marianne says you're on. Thanks, Marianne. Now and again, we just need a little bit of a punch and a kick to let us know and remind us. Claire says you're on now. All good.
Hi, Claire.
All good. Marianne's sound is good. Yeah.
And Haley Pennell.
Wonderful. Good. Okay. Well, in that case, what are we going to do, Paul?
We're going to start off with one of a kind shanty. It's called the Jolly Raven Tar, also known as Get Up, Jack, John, Sit Down.
Jack, John, sit down.
Do it.
Okay. We're going to bring in some lyrics so you can sing along if you'd like to.
Ships may come and ships may go, just as long as the seas do run. And a sailor lad likewise is dad, he loves his pork and rum. Now alas ashore he do adore one that's plump and round. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack, John, sit down. Come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar. When Jack's ashore, he makes his way to some old boarding house. He's welcomed in with rum and gin, likewise his fork and scouse. Now he'll spend and never offend, until he's drunk on the ground. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack, John, sit down. Come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar. He then will slip aboard some ship for India or Japan. Or in Asia there, the ladies fair all love the sailor man. He will trip ashore and he won't scorn to buy some maid a gown. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack, John, sit down. Come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar. When Jack is old and weather beat, too old to sail about, in some grog shop they'll let him stop till 8 bells do ring out. His hands raised high, he'll loudly cry, thank God I'm homeward bound. When your money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack, John, sit down. Come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar. Well, come along, me jolly brave boys. There's plenty more grog in the jar. We'll plough the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar. So that was Get Up, Jack, John, sit down, you jolly old roving tar, you.
Yeah, you jolly old roving tar. And I think I'm going to bring up already, because I guess we ought to mention that we're on the 62nd Shanty Sessions live stream episode number 62, which I guess means we've done 61 previously, which is quite something. And we want to say thank you very much for tuning in and joining in and watching and participating. We'll go as far as to say on all the previous ones that you have done. We really appreciate you coming along and letting us know that you're watching and that you enjoy the songs that we share with you. Also, we should say a huge big thank you to the People's Health Trust because they actually fund through their grant program, Active Communities. They actually fund what we're doing here, which is tremendously appreciated. And talking about things that we do week on week, this is Bine. And that's a word from Suffolk Words and Phrases by Edward Moore. And we asked you to have a guess and what you think it might mean. So let us know what you think Bine might mean. It's in Suffolk Words and Phrases by Edward Moore, and you can either have a serious guess, or you can have a little lark about and see what you think.
But don't Google it and cheat.
Do not Google it.
Come
do
on,
not
don't
cheat.
do that.
You only cheat yourself if you do that. Let me tell you. Claire Garrett says, sorry, missed a few. Great to hear and see you both. Love that one. Thank you very much. Carly Franklin says, evening, Paul and Stephen and everyone. And Linda Boyce says, I read that, Linda.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah. Here we go again.
Well, here we go again.
Sarah Jordan says,
not a lot. Just 4 rounds of applause. Well, thank you very much, Sarah Jordan.
Yeah. And let's several more comments, really. Hi, all sound and vision good. Can hear you okay.
That's that David Bowie song, isn't it?
Yeah, Dave Vanderbritt says, I can hear you. Hello, nice warm day in Virginia. All right, Dave. That's enough. That's enough.
Well, it's pretty warm here in Suffolk.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So yeah, thank you very much for joining in and watching us. And I'm going to just carry straight on, I think, with a song.
What's it going to be called?
Let's pop it up a tiny bit. A song called Bully in the Alley. And it's about as old as it gets. And certainly there's quite a few shanty groups on the circuit that we know of that cover this.
When they talk of Bully in the Alley, are they talking about Shanghaiing?
Well, I think, as you know, as you're being mischievously taking us down this little route that we're going to be going down into, bully is quite a phrase of meandering meanings, in fact. Now, I think I'm going to leave it to Paul to explain, because last time I tried to explain, Paul said, no, I think it actually means this. And authentically, it could mean both those things and a third thing as well, actually. But there are certainly people who are of, should we say, better knowledge than us out there. So they'll let us know. And Paul's going to tell us what it means afterwards. So this is Bully in the Alley. We'll pop the lyrics in for you. Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Pulling down a shinbone now. Sally is a gal that I love dearly. Way, bully in the alley. Sally is a gal that I spice dearly. Pulling down a shinbone now. For 7 long years I courted Sally. Way, bully in the alley. All she did was dilly-dally, bully down a shinbone now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, bully in the alley, bully down a shinbone out. I left Sal and I went a-sailing. Way, bully in the alley. Signed on a big ship, I went a-whaling. Bully down a shinbone, I'll leave Sal and I'll become a sailor. Way, bully in the alley. I'll leave Sal, ship aboard a whaler. Bully down a shinbone now. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down a shinbone now. I'll come back and I'll marry Sally. Way, bully in the alley. We'll have kids and count them by the tally. Bully down and shinbone out. If I ever get back, I'll marry little Sally. Way, bully in the alley. Have 6 kids and live in Shinbone Alley. Bully down and shinbone out. So now help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down a shinbone out. I thought I heard the old man saying, way, bully in the alley. One more chorus, then we'll be laying. Bully down a shinbone out. So won't you help me, Bob? Bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down a shinbone out. Bully down a shinbone out. Bully down a shinbone out.
Bully Bob.
Yeah, immediately we've got a comment there from Jonathan Brindle, he says, bully in the alley has a very colourful meaning. Being so bully that he's in the alley is part of the problem. Yeah. I'll accept that, Jonathan, because I'm assuming that you know a wee bit more than I do about it. Anyway, let's...
being a bully.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. I would not say that to him. No, absolutely
Because he's
not.
a bully.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much. Let's pop this away.
Now, as ever, we have a few things that we'd like to inform you of. The first is something that we do on a weekly basis so far, and that is that we have a little bit of a shanty chat afterwards. I'm going to flash up the address so you can understand what the heck I'm talking about. But what we do is, after every shanty session, we head over to Zoom for a little bit of a meet and greet. You can find the details on how to join at our web address, which is www.thevoicecloud.co.uk. Right here at the bottom of the screen, scrolling across, have a little look on our webpage, and why not join us for a little bit of a chat after we're finished, which will be pretty much dead on 8:30, and we'll be chatting all things shanty and seeing how you've been for roughly 30 minutes. We'd be delighted to see you. Now, that's not all we have coming up, because we are very, very fortunate to welcome Fiona Davies. She'll be doing one of our Connections broadcasts, one of the presentations, and this one will be on step dancing. Now, Fiona Davies is a staple of the folk scene in our area and across the country, and she's a wonderful, wonderful dancer, step dancing being her forte. And she'll be doing a presentation for us on Wednesday the 23rd. Now, if you haven't heard about Connections, you can find details, again, at that same web address, thevoicecloud.co.uk, but this time / it with Connections.
Yeah. I can do a song, Paul.
I suppose.
Spurs.
Have we had any guesses on Bine Bine?
I don't know. See what you think.
No, we haven't. No, we just haven't had any.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Oh, well, not to worry. So I would like to sing for you a song that we have in our repertoire. 15.
Thank you.
It's called John Carter, or the King of Prussia, or Prussia Cove. Goes by many titles, as does many of our shanties. This isn't strictly a work song, but it is a nautical-themed song. And I'm going to sing it to you a little bit differently. Normally we sing it in a major key, but to me, that doesn't quite speak of the murderous mischief of a moonless night that would happen under the watchful supervision of John Carter, the head of the family of smugglers, whereby they would swim out to a stricken vessel and dispatch of everybody on board to gain their goods, their cargo. All I need to do is remember the tune. And 'tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in of Prussia Cove, where I was born. A song I'll here begin. Me father is a smuggler bold, a well-to-do, not him. To land a cargo of the goods he never thought of sin. And 'tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. John Carter is me father's name, the king of all his kin. He is an honest man and keeps his word through thick and thin. For mounted men and cutlass guard he doesn't care a pin. And 'tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. Our lugger is the Rose and Crown we've brought to rack and ruin. A double berth and two is she, as snug as any bin. To see the keg she brings from France would make a donkey grin. And 'tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. No mark of kegs nor sinking stone is ever seen within. Across the channel, rough or smooth, so sweetly she does spin. What joy, me boys, to land the goods, no loser killed a kin. And 'tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. We friends galore along the shore. There's dear old Squire Prynne, and every farmer near or far a mate there at the inn. And parsons never do despise a case of Holland's gin. And 'tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. For speed from all preventing eyes, from Prassans to Newlyn, they tore a poor man's boat in half, and joy to do him in. Why should they take the bread away we work so hard to win? And 'tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in. 'Tis my delight on a moonless night to run the cargo in.
I like that version. Very nice.
Well, it's a bit different. Sorry if you were hoping of joining in with that one. I'm sure you got the gist of it.
I feel like we made it as inaccessible as possible, but you probably couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just do a few comments. I want to...
So first up, Jonathan Brindle comes back and he says, he's drunk out of his bloody mind and is either in the alley as he was kicked out or he's trying to unbully himself. Oh, yeah. I see. So he might not be on his own in said alley. And we've had a guess at Bine Bine. I'm just going to show you what that might be. Bine Bine is our word of the week this week. How you heard it, boy, we say. Bine Bine, from the book by Edward Moore. And Sarah Jordan says, it's Bine Bine to mean sunburn. It's a very good guess. Could well be. Well, we'll let you know by the end of it. Be nice to have a few more guesses. So please keep those guesses coming in. A few more comments to go to, though. First up from Michelle Gallagher. She says, looking forward to the connection session with Fiona. As I mentioned just a few moments ago, Fiona Davies will be running our wonderful connections presentation on the 23rd, Wednesday the 23rd, which is free to everyone. But we do need to know if you'd like to join us in advance so that we can send you the link. It will be step dancing on Wednesday the 23rd. Pat Briggs is in the house. She says, good evening, everyone. And David and Janet Woods, are you perhaps demeaning smugglers when your comments apply more to wreckers? Well, that's a very good point, David. And I apologise to smugglers and I apologise to wreckers. Sarah Jordan loved that. Thank you very much. Claire Garrett said, nice that. And Marion Bouchette has another guess at Bine Bine. I'm going to extrapolate from Thomas Hardy's Darkling Thrush, Tangled Bine Stem, and take a wild guess that Bine Bine is a local name for a creeping, entwining plant.
Good guess.
It is a good guess.
Good thought process as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sude says, lovely version. And Michelle Gallagher gives it 4 rounds of applause. That's too kind. Another guess, Bine Bine, is it weed rash? Well, that's similar.
Yeah.
Similar to, yeah, we're getting a theme occurring.
Something's occurring, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're going to do a song now, and we're going to do this in the way that we originally taught it, and I'm sure in the way that it's actually sung authentically in the Scottish Isles, when it was and when it is, because it is still sung. This is actually a Scots Gaelic tune called Shalaf Coriowan, and when we brought it along to our beloved Rogue Shanty chorus, we had them do it as a round, or to sing against each other as cannons. So Paul and I are going to have a go at that and see if we can put each other off even.
You did it already.
On the Isle of Eriskay, south of South Uist and North Uist, this is sung as a strathspey or a version reel, and it's said that there's a Scots Gaelic term called portabeel, which means tunes from the mouth, and I guess really that very adequately describes all kind of folk music, or vocal folk music. And some believe that this particular type of song came into effect where during the Battle of every time I say this, somebody Scottish lets me know that I've said it wrong. I've tried it as Culloden. Somebody tells me it's wrong. So the battle of that word, and however you choose to say it, and bagpipes were banned, which, you know, whether you if you're a bagpipe fan, you won't think that's a good thing. If you're not, you'll think that's a brilliant thing. But
you're always droning on about that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Here he is, like piping up. And as a result of that, Portobello songs, tunes from the mouth became very popular. So this is
let's go with it,
Shanty
your
Sessions.
windbag.
Yeah. Shalaf Corio and the Scoa Graficatera Shalaf Corio, the Shakatera Rua Van Bio and Bio and the Skipper Bio and Bio, the Shakatera Rua Van Shalaf Corio and the Scoa Graficatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Rua Van Bio and Bio and Bio and the Shakatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Bio and Bio and the Shakatera Bio and Bio and the Shakatera
Bio and Bio and the Shakatera
Shalaf Corio and the Scoa Graficatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Bio and Bio and the Skipper Bio and Bio and the Shakatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Bio and the Shakatera Bio and Bio and the Shakatera
Bio and Bio and the Shakatera
Shalaf Corio and the Scoa Graficatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Bio and Bio and the Shakatera Bio and Bio and the Shakatera Shalaf Corio and the Scoa Graficatera Shalaf Corio and the Shakatera Bio and the Shakatera Bio and Bio and the Shakatera. Oh, it's always nice if I speed up at the very end when I've stopped and Paul carries on.
It's nice, that.
Okay. Well, look, I can't even see the time, but I know that we're heading over to Zoom in about 34 minutes, I'm going to say 34 minutes. If you haven't ever joined us, why don't you consider it? You need Zoom on your device, on your computer. But if you'd like to join us, the details are on www.thevoicecloud.co.uk/Zoom. And all the details are, that's the web link there. And if you head to that web link, you'll find out the meeting ID, the link and the password to join us on Zoom. We just do a strict 30 minutes from 8:30 to 9 p.m. And you'll be very welcome to come along and either have a chat or just have a listen to everybody else chatting, because you may or may not have got back out into the world yet. But if you haven't, or if you just want some kind of, what's the word? Social activity, come along and join us for it. And we do have a lovely bunch in there. So, okay. Let's, real tongue twister. Linda Boy says, well done. That sounds like a real tongue twister. Marianne Bichette says, singing along not. Lol. Thank you very much, Sarah Jordan. Claire Garrett says, amazing. Love that. 5 claps. Whoa. Michelle says, fantastic. 4 claps. And then Sandra Warner says, bine. Could it be a cow, as in bovine? That's a good guess, Sandra. That is a good guess, yeah. I don't know is the answer to that. We're not going to tell you, rather. So we'll find out, I guess. We'll find out at some point. Now, we've got some news. Haven't we got some news?
We have got some news.
Yeah, so the long and the short of it is that we are hoping to restart physical rehearsals for the Rave Shanty Chorus on Tuesday, the 20th of July. Still some a little way off yet, but we know that you like a good warning. And the other thing is that obviously if we are doing physical rehearsals, we can't be doing this. So we also want to give you a good steam ahead as a warning for that as well. We have been kind of exploring for some time, really, a good 6 weeks or so, whether we could restart physical rehearsals. And after the announcement from government a few weeks ago about moving into step 3, they included most kind of social provision except singing. They said that amateur singing in the UK, we're talking about now, could only take place with up to 6 people, which absolutely wouldn't have made it feasible. Despite actually saying that there was no science behind singing being a particular carrier of COVID, and despite allowing us to recommence rehearsals last autumn. So it became a little bit stricter, and it did upset a lot of choir leaders. But it certainly meant that where we were planning to restart possibly in June, it meant that we couldn't do that. We then decided that we might restart in early July, and that would be based on the government moving into step 4 and the easing of restrictions, as they had suggested they would. But obviously, given old Bojo's announcement yesterday or the day before, it means we can't until 20th of July. So the 19th of July is possibly when the UK moves into step 4, easing of restrictions. And if that happens, that's a big if that happens, then we will hold our first physical rehearsal back on Tuesday, the 20th of July. If they announce that they need to continue restrictions for some time, then we cannot meet them. Simple as that. If you'd like to come along, we will be having to, as we did last autumn, we will be having to introduce a very strict booking system on a first come, first served basis, which we will be opening up next week. So don't get in touch, please, just yet saying, can I book a place? No, you can't. We need to put in the infrastructure on the website for an automated booking system. So, and that's not on there yet. It will be from next week. But Tuesday, the 20th of July, put it in your diaries. And if you can't be with us, if you can't be anywhere near us physically, I hope you don't put that in your diaries for all the wrong reasons, like you won't be able to join in a live stream. What you could do in that instance is have a look at one of our previous ones if you missed one.
62 of them after tonight.
Yeah, there will be. Yeah.
All of the Lowestoft history sessions by Ivan Bunn, they're all still available as well on YouTube or on our Facebook pages.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Couldn't do that one?
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm going to sing you a song called Don't Forget Your Old Shipmate. And we'll bring in the lyrics, I guess.
Yeah, no, the history of this go back to at least 1931. In fact, according to the Roud Index, there's a version of Don't Forget Your Old Shipmate in Firth Naval Songs and Ballads, which was published in 1908. But it's widely thought that there are versions that go back to the Napoleonic period in the 18th century.
Okay, yeah. So this is 27 in your books if you have a book. If you don't, fear not, because look, we've just got the lyrics up on screen for you. It goes like this. Safe and sound at home again. Let the waters roar, Jack, and we'll sing with glad refrain. Let the chorus soar, Jack. Long we've tossed on the rolling main. Now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate. Folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. Since we sailed from Plymouth Sound, 4 years gone on nigh, Jack. Was there ever chummies now, such as you and I, Jack? Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. We have worked the self-same gun, quarter-deck division, spun your eye and loaded you through the whole commission. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. Oftentimes have we laid out, toil nor danger fearing, hauling out the flapping sail to the weather rearing. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. When the middle watch was on and the time went slow, boy, who could tune a rousing stave? Who like Jack or Joe, boy? Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. There she swings an empty hulk, not a soul below now. Number 7, starboard mess, Mrs. Jack and Joe now. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. But the best of friends must part, fair or foul the weather, and you flip her for a shake, now a drink together. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe for shore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride. Oh. There you have it. Don't forget your old shipmate. Lovely song, and we sing it, and we certainly remember not to forget many of our old shipmates from the Road Shanty Chorus and further afield as well. Okay, so
any more guesses for Bine Bine, our word of the week? Hey, heard it, boy. The word is Bine Bine.
Yeah, Bine Bine is the call of the storm petrel that fishermen would listen for near the Arctic Circle.
Well, that's spoken with some authority there.
Yeah, a degree of conviction, I would say, in fact.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, actually, Sandra mentions what I was thinking of when we were singing that. Reminds me of some of our members that have passed on. Love it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And just a few lovely comments as well. We don't need to put them all up, but thank you very much. Okay, well, I think we're gonna give you another song, I guess.
Yeah, this one is number 49 in our repertoire. If you have a repertoire, it's okay if you don't.
Yeah, if you don't, it's fine.
Because usually we are able to display the lyrics for you on the screen. Now, you might be watching this via YouTube, which I know some of our patrons do. The Drapers like to watch us on YouTube, and the Woods household also likes to watch us on YouTube. We're there in high definition of 1020p DP. Was it DP?
1080p.
1080p. And you can watch us there, or you can watch us on our Facebook channels, Facebook pages, the Road Shanty Chorus, the Road Shanty Boys, the Voice Cloud. Any of those pages is where we stream to. So wherever you watch us, usually you don't have an excuse for not joining in with the lyrics. Now, this is quite a wordy one, and no chorus to speak of, but give it a go anyway. Please do join in. I'd be awfully disappointed if you didn't. It's called On Border 98. When I was young and scarce 18, I drove a roaring trade, and many a sly trick I have played with many a pretty maid. My parents found that would not do, I soon would spend their store, so they resolved that I should go on board a man of war. A bold-pressed gang surrounded me, their warrant they did show, and swore that I should go to sea and face the daring foe. So off they lugged me to the boat, oh how I cursed my fate. 'Twas then I found that I must float on board a 98. When first I put my foot on board, how I began to stare. Our admiral, he gave the word, there is no time to spare. They waved the anchor, shook out sail, and off they bore me straight to watch the foe in storm and gale on board a 98. Before we reached America, they gave me many drill. They soon learnt me a nimble way to hand an iron pill. In course of time a fight began, when bold Jack Tars laid straight. What would I give if I could run from on board a 98? But as time fled I bolder grew, and hardened was to war. I'd run aloft with my ship's crew, and valued not a scar. So well did I my duty do, I soon made boatswain's mate, and damn me soon made boatswain too on board a 98. So years rolled by at Trafalgar, bold Nelson fought and fell. As they capsized that hardy tar, I caught a rap as well. To Greenwich College I came back, because I saved my pate. They only knocked one wing off Jack on board a 98. So now my cocoa I can take, my pouch with bacca stored. With my blue clothes and three-cocked hat, I'm happy as a lord. I've done my duty, served my king, and now I bless my fate. But damn me, I'm too old to sing, I'm nearly 98. So that was On Board a 98, number 49 in our repertoire. Just one little thing I'd like to pick out there. which is, well, a few things really. An iron pill. We would love to know what you think that is, but as far as we're concerned, it's kind of like a cleat that you might wrap a rope around to make it fast. And what else did we want to pick up? Yes, the weighing of the anchor. Now, often you hear anchors aweigh, and that's commonly misunderstood to mean drop the anchor. In fact, it means raise the anchor, put the weight of the anchor on rather than let it go. So if it's anchors away, it means you're heading off.
Okay, we're going to do a song now. This is we've done this a couple of times, and it's always popular, not particularly well known. And it was a song by a wonderful folk musician called Archie Fisher. He wrote it for, I'm going to forget the name of the person he wrote it for, and he performed it just once, apparently at a festival. It was put onto an album and never released, and then a couple of decades later, a lot of people discovered it. We used it for a kind of a folk opera show that we put together, and it's a song called The Final Trawl. So it goes like this. Now it's 3 long years since we made her pay, sing all away, my laddie-o. And the owners say that she's had a day, and sing all away, my laddie-o. So heave away for the final draw, sing all away, my laddie-o. It's an easy pour, for the catch is small, and sing all away, my laddie-o. For I'd rather be here on the scary rod, sing all away, my laddie-o, than to see her toy in the breaker's yard, and sing all away, my laddie-o. And when I die, you can stone me down, sing all away, my laddie-o. In a rusty hole where the breakers pound, and sing all away, my laddie-o. For I fished a lifetime, boy and man, sing all away, my laddie-o. And the final trawl scarcely makes a crack, and sing all away, my laddie-o. And sing all away, my laddie-o. Yeah, so Michelle there. Well, Sandra just sneaked in. That was lovely.
Oh, thank you, Sandra.
I like hearing you sing together. Thank you very much. Michelle says, I love singing the final trawl. I was actually playing this on the Penny Whistle earlier today. Michelle, if you'd only said that, we'd have encouraged you to come in. I'm in the lag, but don't worry about that. And then some lovely other comments as well. So Marianne, thank you, lovely gents. Like the harmonies on this one. I know it seems like we will actually read out a comment if you make it a compliment, but that's not just the case, we promise. And then Richard Louis Ainsley, am I a virtual Shanty and Garfunkel duo concert? Very good. Yeah, I won't say who's who.
I don't have the hair for it.
No.
I've got the hairline for it.
Look, we've got a few comments actually about your iron pill. I always thought that the iron pill was a cannonball, but that's just from my imagination.
You could well be right, Dave Vanderbrooker, but I think it's I thought it was kind of like a cleat, not as sophisticated as a cleat, but a kind of a block that's tapered at the bottom and tapered at the top, like
my guitar head in the way.
Like so.
Sorry.
But yes, you could well be right.
Okay. Like song this evening. We're going to do another one now, and this was from the collection of Sam Larner. Sam Larner was a fairly local boy, local enough to us. He was based in Winterton in Norfolk, and we actually know Sam's nephew Tony, quite a character himself, as was Sam.
He's also a musician.
Yeah, a wonderful musician. Plays the biggest sax there is, the baritone. Yeah. Anyway, this is a song called the Smacksman. And there was a folk singer called Johnny Doughty of Suffolk, and he knew it as Heave on the Trawl. But many of the recordings that are out there have different lyrics, and Sam seems at least quite unique in having his own set of lyrics. Maybe put them together himself. But this is based on a recording that was made by the BBC of Sam, and goes like this. Once I was a schoolboy, I stayed at home with ease. Now I am a smacksman, and I plough the raging seas. I thought I'd like safe fare in life, but very soon I found it was not all plain sailing. Boys went out on the fishing ground. Coil away the trawl, boys, let's heave on the trawl. When we get our fish on board, we'll heave another haul. Straightway to the capstan and merrily heave around. And that's the cry in the middle of the night, haul the trawl, boys, haul. Now when we got our fish on board, we have them to gut. We put them in the baskets and down the ice like a put. We ice them all right safely and then wash them all quite well. Keep them all from chafe, my boys, like an oyster in its shell. Coil away the trawl, boys, let's heave on the trawl. When we get our fish on board, we'll have another haul. Straightway to the capstan and merrily heave around. And that's the cry in the middle of the night, haul the trawl, boys, haul. Coil away the trawl, boys, let's heave on the trawl. When we get our fish on board, we'll have another haul. Straightway to the capstan and merrily heave around. And that's the cry in the middle of the night, haul the trawl, boys, haul. Yeah, it's a lovely version by Sam Larner. And there are a couple of albums actually on Spotify and iTunes, in fact, just containing the singing of Sam Larner, the great Norfolk singer, as he was known.
Has a bit of a kind of what's the genre I'm thinking of? The melody sounds kind of music hall, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or like a song from the trenches of World War One. But a great song. Here's a story song now. It's number 36 in our repertoire, and it's called 70. Now this song we've mentioned it many times, but it tells of the fateful night when the East Coast, which is where we're from, the East Coast was battered by a gale, and all of many of the fishing vessels were absolutely wrecked as part of it. From Hull and Grimsby, this is dedicated to the fishermen from Hull and Grimsby who lost their lives on that gale. in that gale, which happened on the 8th and the 9th of February, 1889. It's called 10. We know it via Liam Clancy, as well as a few other versions. And it goes like this. Watch out for the funny little timing that can trip you and me up. And it's 10 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well. They long defied the bitter night and battled with the swell. Methinks I see some little crafts spreading their sails a-lee, as down the Humber they did glide, bound in the northern sea. Methinks I see on each small craft a crew with hearts so brave, going to earn their daily bread upon the restless wave. Methinks I see them as they left the land all far behind, casting the lead into the deep their fishing grounds to find. Methinks I see them on the deck, working with a will, to shoot their net into the deep, either for good or ill. And it's 10 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well, they long defied the bitter night and battled with the swell. Methinks I see them shoot their trawl upon the Thursday night, and saw the watch upon the deck, and everything was right. Methinks I see them yet again when daylight did appear, all hands working with a will, getting off their gear. Methinks I see the net on board, and fish so fresh and gay, and all were busily engaged, clearing them away. Methinks I see them put away into the ice below, and then the sea began to rise, and the wind did stronger blow. And it's 10 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well, they long defied the bitter night and battled with the swell. Methinks I heard the skipper say, my lads will shorten sail, as the sky to all appearance looks like an approaching gale. Methinks I see them yet on again, and all on board was right, with sails close reefed, the deck cleared up, and sidelights burning bright. Methinks I see them yet again, the midnight hour was past, their little craft was battling there with the fiery blast. Methinks I heard the skipper say, cheer up, my lads, be brave. We'll trust in him who rules the deep, in him who alone can save. And it's 10 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well, they long defied the bitter night and battled with the swell. Methinks I read the thoughts of them who now are called away. They were thinking of their loved ones dear, many miles away, thinking of wife and children dear, and aged parents too, who no more will see them here again in this world below. Great God, thou sees each sorrowing heart, the widow in distress. Thou knowest the little children dear, who now are fatherless. Comfort and cheer them here below, and lead them by thy hand. And at last they meet with their loved ones dear in the promised land. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well, they long defied the bitter night and battled with the swell. And I think we've explained many times why or how you might travel downward from Great Yarmouth to Scarborough. So we're not going to explain that again. You'll have to watch each one of our 61 episodes to find out.
Yeah. So a few comments there. I'm going to bring on one from Sarah Jordan. Such a sad tale. And then Marianne Bichette says, methinks you got to love any song with the word methinks in it.
Methinks you have.
I do love 3-10. Yeah, absolutely. And we actually found a link for that song to our beloved Lowestoft, where we come from, and or at least a place nearby called Wangford. And that was the man that wrote it, or at least wrote the ballad. So William Delph. Yeah, I mean, I had the sir in. He wasn't a sir.
Might as well be though.
Yeah, that one was beautiful. Well done. Well, thank you, Jonathan.
The link is that he was born in Lowestoft.
He was born in Lowestoft. He had family in Wangford. He moved to Wangford. He moved eventually to Grimsby, but he still has family in the area as well. I say he has. I mean, his descendants are. And Sally Jane says, "My fave shanty, 3-10, mega. Thanks." Well, thank you
bless
for
you,
saying
Sally.
so, Sally.
Sally Jane.
And Pat Briggs says, "Very nice harmonising." Yeah. Well, thank you. I didn't really do a lot.
Him.
Yeah, it was me. Okay. Well, we're cracking on towards the end. I suppose I ought to come on camera to do this, but really, we're cracking on towards the end, and we're going to do a song.
Cracking on, are we?
Yeah, we are. We're going to do your song now. This is in the Roud Folk Index as 678. And it's also known as My Son Tim, Mrs. McGraw, the Sergeant and Mrs. McGraw, the Sergeant and Mrs. McGraw.
Timmy McGraw.
Yeah, we know it as My Son John, and it's an Irish folk song set. It's a little bit of argument about this, and I guess it's permissible arguments because it was either set during the Peninsular War or the Napoleonic War, and since those wars actually overlapped, they both thoughts could be correct. The general theme of the song is one of an opposition to war, and I actually did a beautiful song called Johnny I Hardly Knew You, or New Year, several sessions ago now, which is another song with an opposition to war. Beautiful song. This one is actually a comic song, and although it's difficult to take it too seriously because it's written so funnily, it's quite a brutal one, really, and supposedly based on a true story. And the song tells the story of a woman whose son enters the British Army, returns 7 years later, and he's lost both his legs to a cannibal while fighting. It's thought possibly that it could have been at the Battle of Fuentes, which would have placed him within the Napoleonic conflict. And the story goes that the mother and his disabled son are stood before a naval surgeon who was trying to cheat him of his disablement pension because the surgeon claims that it's rather careless of him to be stood in the way of a cannonball. So anyway, there you go. There you have it, My Son John, and I guess we'll give you the actual song. Paul pop the lyrics up, but if you have a folder at home, it's number 33, as the Irish say. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the I don't know, we'll share it up. I don't think we've done this very much in the stream, have we?
I'll be able to tell you at some point.
Oh, okay. He's got an Excel. My son John was tall and slim, and he had a leg for every limb. But now he's got no legs at all, for he ran a race with a cannonball. With me rum rah, faddle diddle da, whack faddle diddle with me rum rah. For I was tall and I was thin, and I had a leg for every limb. But now I've got no legs at all, they were both shot away by a cannonball. me now. Oh, were you deaf or were you blind when you left a couple of legs behind? Or was it sailing on the sea? Lost your two fine legs from the ground to the knee. With me, rum-rum, faddle-diddle-da, work faddle-diddle with me, rum-rum. Oh, I was not drunk, nor was I blind when I left my two fine things behind. When up came a bloody great cannonball, shot away me seabird skins and all. With me rum-rum, faddle-diddle-da, whack faddle-diddle with me rum-rum. And now I'll cross the raging main, the King of France and the Queen of Spain, and I will make them rule the time. Then they shot away the legs of a child of mine. With me rum-rum, faddle-diddle-da, whack faddle-diddle with me rum-rum. With me rum-rum, faddle-diddle-da, whack faddle-diddle with me rum-rum. There you go. Do you think I did enough guitar?
I think I've always thought they needed a mariachi ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Reggae middle.
Yeah.
And
And
mariachi end.
I don't know if Sandra's just referring to this one song here.
Oh, Sandra.
Yeah. Anyway, look.
I think she means it well, though.
Tracy Barnard says, "Roo rum ra ha ha ha." Very good.
A brouhaha.
Yeah, very good.
Talking of brouhaha,
Yeah.
I don't think we've actually told the good people that watch us, despite our larking about, what the word of the week is.
Oh no, we haven't. No. Do you want to grab the book? I'll let you do it. Actually.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Careful how you handle it, though. I don't think Paul's ever revealed the word.
Yes, I hear.
Have you? Have you? Okay. So the word is bine.
It means by and by.
Simple as that.
This is that.
Yeah.
So by and by. So when it's not just goodbye and goodbye, it's by and by. It means this.
Yeah.
By
By and by.
By and by. That is what it means. And we're very shortly about to say by and by.
Yeah, we are absolutely.
Yeah. Well.
And look, I think we're gonna style out with a few comments at the end because in all our copious amounts of preparation, we didn't have any more songs ready. We just had the ones that we've spent
Might have changed to finish nice and promptly.
so long rehearsing. Yeah. So I'm going to finish with a couple of comments. Love that one.
Oh, thanks, Pat.
Also, Claire Garrett, nicely done. And Michelle Gallagher says, awesome. Well, thank you very much. We are actually heading over to Zoom right now, really.
But before we do, one last mention. Please join us on Zoom. We'd love to have you there. You can find the details at thevoicecrowd.co.uk/Zoom, or also on that webpage of thevoicecrowd.co.uk/connections. You'll find how to get involved with our Connections program, which is a series of interactive talks and presentations. On Wednesday, the 23rd of this month, we will be hosting Fiona Davies, who presents to us a tutorial on step dancing. It promises to be absolutely fantastic. You're very welcome to join. It's free, thanks to our friends at East Suffolk Council. And anybody's welcome, and it is free, but we must have in advance warning that you are coming along so that we can send you the specific link to join us. We'd love to have you there, but you need the link, and so we need to know if you plan to come along so we can send it to you.
Yeah, and we have just got time to read Sue Day's comment, and comment is info for all who can get there. New outdoor amphitheatre built 2020-2021. Thorrington Theatre, 20 miles south of Lowestoft, opens this Thursday. Many shows all summer, most for one day. This Sunday, June the 20th, is Treasure Island at 3 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. half-hour live music at 2:30 p.m. before the show. Includes sea shanties. Tickets still for sale. Outdoors, socially distanced. Hope to see some of you there. Sue, it sounds like you've got an investment in this theatre. That was a real whopping amount of information.
It does look like a fabulous place. I believe it's quite near Southwold, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
And a lot of time and craftsmanship has gone into making it.
Yeah. So we want to say, I guess we'll finish by saying thank you very much and good night.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. So if I can find the thing, I'm just gonna say thanks and
good night, everyone.
Bye.